everybody, welcome to What Time with Princess. Okay, today we're going to be looking at something really amazing. We're going to be looking at the components of love. Last week we established some facts about love, about who love is, what it is, and the rest of them. But today we're going to be looking at the components as the 4-letter words that make up love, what it signifies. Okay, so the first one I have here is love is liberating. That's L, the first point. When you give love, it liberates your mind from heaviness of the heart and of the spirit. A lover feels zero burdensome. Love is freeing. It frees you from heaviness of the heart. Now, when you love someone, you don't feel pain by the person. It frees your mind from everything. You are freed from the heaviness, or maybe by grudges and the rest of them. Alright, the second point I have here is love brings loyalty. Loyalty becomes easier when love is the leader. The friend will naturally get loyalty from his friend when love takes the lead. Love breaks the bones, and the bones of weakness is easier than destructive criticism. The reason why people actually follow someone and you're like, this following this person sheepishly, it's not because of it's because of the love the person has shown for them. Now, you don't judge people that way. Now, you don't know what that person has done for this person. So that is why when people follow, you're like, You see? So love brings loyalty. So it is natural for a friend to, bring out his plate and eat with his fellow friend. Why? Because there's this amount of love and trust and loyalty he has for that person. Okay, now the third point I have here is love is leading. What people follow more is love in a person than the leadership skills in that fellow. What the followers of Jesus saw more in him was the love and compassion he expressed, and they followed him. Now, the followers of Jesus, they did not see a leader, they saw a lover. That was why they were able to follow him. They saw this companionship, this accommodation. He was open to them. He was more like a friend than a leader to them. Now, even when he was making some decisions that were looking like this thing is too difficult, but his people stood and they were like, we are going with you. They were not following that man. They were following the man in the man. That's the love in him. Okay, so the next thing I have here is love brings obedience. Notice that we struggle to obey who we don't have love for. If you don't love someone, you cannot obey that person. The person's instructions feels like the person is like pouring water on a rock. You don't feel motivated to obey that person who you love. Obeying becomes a delight. If I love you, if you give me an instruction, I'll follow. Love from the innermost part of me. And then when you tell me do something, even if I'm not doing it that time, but when I remember that my lover said I should do this thing, I try to let me do it. Why? Because it's nothing. It's that love you're talking about. Okay. All right. Jesus loves the fact that so much, so obeying him was very easy. Now, when you love someone, let me bring it down home. As I love my father, it's not difficult for me to obey him, because his instructions are like, I know that this man loves me. Your children, employee, and followers will obey more when they realize you love them. Your children, the reason why they will obey you is because they've seen that love in you. They've seen that you actually mean well for them. A child will not struggle to obey his mother or father when he or she has actually seen that actually this person loves me. Okay, the same goes with your employees and your followers. You need to sometimes come down to earth. Every time is not, come down, show them that they belong. That's when they'll be able to follow you. Do whatever you ask of them. Okay? When people get attracted to some people, it's not for anything, because they've looked beyond that thing and they've seen something in that person. And what is that thing? It's love. All right. Love kills offenses. Hear this. Offenses is inevitable, but there is an antidote to it, and that is love. Okay, it covers faults and amplifies strength. Love is the shock absorber of offenses. When you love somebody, the person's little childishness will not affect you, because you know that even in that childishness there is love. When you love someone, you cover the person up. You safeguard that person. All right, Jesus said to the Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. That is it. When you love someone, you just let it go, let it pass. All right, the next point I have there is and that is love brings opportunity. Hear this: there is always a great opportunity to anyone who is a lover. Okay, relationship opens more doors than praying in tongues. Now, all your prayers, they get answered by a relationship. There is this God-oriented relationship for you, ordained one for you. Okay, men are God's system. Ignoring them is like ignoring your open doors. No man is an island. But that thing you're looking for, God has placed it in someone's hands. It's not like for you to acknowledge. No, sometimes when we don't acknowledge these things, that we are clouded by sometimes pride and the rest of it, so we don't really see what God has for us. Men are God's method. They are God's most efficient system. So that prayer you are asking God for, it has been released for you. It's in the hand. It is in the hands of a man. So you just need to acknowledge men. You pray to God, He talks to men to answer. When you are praying to God, when you're asking God for something, God has already spoken to a man. He has already given that thing to someone. You don't actually ignore relationships and men, because you don't know where your blessings will come from. Okay, all right. The next thing I want us to note is that love brings value. A man's love life is measured by his level of value over his object of love. What you give to a thing shows your value for that thing. Now, if you love someone, how people know that you're a lover or that you love is actually the value you place on that person. How you actually cherish that thing that you love. Okay, God gave His Son to us, so we worth God. Nobody is meant to actually make you feel less of yourself, because you know what you're worth. So I want you to place your hand on your chest and say this to yourself: I worth God. I worth God. Say it like you mean it, and you know what you're saying, because nobody is permitted to told you around, because you know your words. And when you're convinced about your words, you don't settle for less. Love brings vibes. It could be said that love unlocks inspirations. Your vibes will die when you are not a lover. And when you love someone, there is this thing inside of you that comes up, this excitement. And then when you're not a lover, or when you do not love, it has a way of blocking your inspirations. But when you're open, when you're vibing, those things they come out on their own. All right. So, lastly, I would want to tell us that love brings excitement. It brings this great amount of joy and innermost happiness. So when you're a lover, you tend to be happy and feel excited. So in conclusion, I would like to tell you, this season, please make love your greatest aim. Even in the Bible, God said that we should love even the unlovable. Pray for our enemies, love our enemies. So let's love live, and God bless you. See you same time next week Sunday. I love you. Thank you for your time. Stay safe. Bye.